Hello everyone, I would like you all to meet Kuan Yin. She is an avatar, a bodhisattva, and basically a revered deity in the way that Buddha is seen. In fact, she, like Buddha, her presence and her devotees are all across Asia and in fact now all around the world. And she represents, a very maternal archetype of compassion and mercy. And I just love her. I love the mythology around her. I love the stories that could or could not be factual, but because they exist in the realm of stories and in our consciousness, they have merit and weight and depth because the stories live in us through spiritual principles. She was known to be a devout woman to the idea of compassion and expanding consciousness, so much so that she reached a level of enlightenment that allowed her entry as an ascended master. So as she was ascending to nirvana, she heard the cries of the children of earth still suffering, and she chose to forfeit nirvana so that she could be here with us and help us navigate the troubles and turmoil of living life on earth. Now that's why she gets the, moniker of being of compassion and mercy, because that's what she knows most to be true. And that's what we often see is lacking right now. So she is the spiritual superhero of the ages, right? And it's easy to get confused about who Quan Yin was or was not, because like Buddha was Siddhartha, but then was also other ascended masters, meaning the Buddhahood was a state, not necessarily one person. So for Quan Yin, there were other people who embodied her and ascended to Quan Yin status and pretty much lived as her through the avatar status. And if this is confusing, I get it. Growing up in Western religion, it's really hard to understand the amalgamations of different deities or spiritual people or even ascended masters and how they can be embodied in different form. But all that is to say is that we are one. She realizes that her energy has enabled different people in history to do things with profound compassion that were almost seem godlike. For instance, one of my favorite tales of a bodhisattva who would then become Quan Yin was someone of Chinese ancestry. She was the daughter of a well-known ruler, and this ruler was really, really, really cruel, and he really wanted a son. Well, he tried to marry her off, and she was like, that is not right for me. I cannot marry another cruel man just so we can have more power. So he sent her to a land where other nuns lived, and he thought that was punishment. It was a barren land, but through her powers of consciousness and self-awareness, she taught the nuns how to harvest and plant food and to grow vegetation and flowers. And she made this barren land gorgeous. Once the ruler found out about this, he's like, wait, she's enjoying herself in this solitude? Well, no, I can't have that. So he sent his military personnel basically to burn down their monastery and burn down the vegetation. When the flames started, she sat in prayer meditation and rain came down and consistently put out every fire that they tried to start. The ruler again heard about this and he's like, my defiant daughter, I don't care, she must be executed. I cannot have this on my reputation that she will not even listen to me. So the legend says that as she was about to be executed, the blade could not pierce her neck. And then with one final blow, it seemed to pierce her neck, but she was actually taken by a mountain spirit, and she was able to sit in this mountain and in solitude, in prayer and meditation for years to come. Well, she sat there happy as it can be because the peace was already inside of her and had nothing to do with the outside world, where the ruler was dying because, he had bad karma. He tried to kill his daughter. So he had a horrible disease, and his team was like, the only thing that can save you is the eyes and arms of someone without anger. And when someone from his council came up to him and was like, we know of this bodhisattva who's sitting in a mountain right now, and she would be the perfect one, and we know she would give you that. So they retrieved her arms and her eyes, and she peacefully, without anger or resentment, gave them. The king recovered, and he was so moved by this act that he wanted to visit the bodhisattva himself. When he arrived to her cave, he realized that it was his daughter. And he immediately realized how cruel and unkind he had been. And she basically said to him, I'm not angry. I am not afraid of anything. Everything is well. In that moment, she grew 1,000 arms and 1,000 eyes so that she could be of service and keep an eye on all those children of the world, meaning us. So oftentimes, Kuan Yin is depicted as someone with 1,000, but usually it's just 40 arms and 40 eyes, specifically the eyes in her crown. What does this have to do with anything? I don't know. I really don't know. Actually, it reminds me of the power we have in our lives when we give without fear or anger. Because what that looks like is we give without attachment. And we don't try to strike deals. We don't try to see how it's going to play out for us in the long run. And this is the way we work with miracles. Miracles is doing what is spiritually principled and what is compassionate to others without regard to what will happen to my ego in physical form. Now, I'm not saying go mutilate yourself. Please don't. Please keep yourself safe. But I'm saying, what are those items that you treasure? What are those things that you treasure that you think that if they were taken from you would destroy you? And what if you gave it away freely? Because if anything you possess can destroy you if you are without it, then you are powerless. But if you can give anything and everything away and still be your soul powered self, you will be unstoppable. All right, y'all. Hope you're having a beautiful day, and let me know what's up. What are some of your favorite spiritual superheroes? Or if you've heard any other stories about Quan Yin from different lineages. All right. Mwah.